Shalom. Call hello Yahweh Bashem Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered among the four corners of the earth, scattered among the heathen that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners. And to the Akwath that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson. They killed the sound on my last one. I checked the video. The video has sound, so I just decided through the spirit, this video I've been sitting on, I want to do a scripture commentary on it, so I just go ahead forth with this one and try and re-upload the other one later today or tomorrow. You know, however the spirit guides, and hopefully it'll go up. Yeah, it was pretty condemning to Esau Edom, so that's probably why they did what they did. But nevertheless, we march on. Yeah, this is a video called Biden versus Trump. Congress grills Google on Clinton election money. So, hey, Google is a criminal organization, man, that controls information, that harbors information and can turn around and use that information against you. And yeah, and I'm telling you, man, the way the E has set things up, they've got their paws and everything to where they can control the narrative, control information, and and take someone out of office, put someone in office, whatever the means be. All right, there's no such thing as privacy. Everything you look at, everything you send, they have in their little clouds and their vaults, and they can accidentally release it among the people as whatever this email is. It got out what these people are fighting over corrupt election. But the point is that this just goes to show you that E is not fit to rule. The earth is indeed in need of new management, and the Lord is setting it up. And these people are completely against each other, as they has always been in the beginning. I'm gonna give you some scriptural evidence of it. All right, and you have to remember, Alexander of Macedon was Amalek. All right, he's not just Esau Edom, but he's actually from the tribe of Amalek, and the Amalekites run the world right now. They rule over. They even rule and mistreat the other Edomite tribes. Okay, they set themselves above. So E is divided as hell right now. Keep that in mind. This is First Maccabees 1:1, and it reads, "And it happened after that Alexander, the son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, the king of the Persian Medes," brown-fleshed race of people, the Persians and the Medes. So these pale Edomites ruled over them, conquered them and ruled over them. And then it goes to tell you, let's continue reading, that he reigned the first in his stead, his race, his kind, all right, his stock. That he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. So his stock, his race, reigned over the Grecians, and they began to call themselves Grecians over time. All right, this is when Esau became Greeks. All right, so let's jump down to verse 7. And it reads, "So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servant Beru, everyone in his place. And after his," because he appointed them, all right? When you go back, let me I'm going to start at verse 6. "Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable men," and they weren't, and their actions is going to prove it, all right? "And he had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive." So he parted between his 4 generals. All right, Alexander's 4 generals. Go look it up. All right, and it says, "So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants Beru, everyone in his place," the ones he set up, "and after his death they all put crowns upon themselves, so that their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth." Evils came into the earth when these pale Edomites got dominion over it. All right, multiplied through the earth. All right, because evil was set in stone already, but it multiplied and became great with them, and the infighting began. And I'm going to give you a perfect example out of the scriptures You can find this. This is secular history, which you can find in an encyclopedia, or you can even look it up online. But it's talking about the king of Syria, of Alexander Balas. Now, this was an Edomite, all right, who was in Syria. Died in 142 BC, like his predecessor Antiochus the fourth, was king only in name. He was proclaimed king while still a minor, 146 BC, by Dietis called Tryphon. All this can be found in the book of Maccabees, all right, just so you know, and in encyclopedias. And you probably can find all this online as well. By Dietis called Tryphon, former general of Alexander Balas. All right, so Tryphon, the general, who was Dietis, appointed his Alexander Balas' son, Antiochus the fourth, king. All right, now this is a different Antiochus from the Antiochus which was set up by Alexander. You know, just so you know. And then it reads, the Jews at first sided with Demetrius II, Nicanor, his rival for the throne, but in a view of the vacillation and treacherous character of Demetrius, they held it advisable to give their alliance to Antiochus IV, like his father. Antiochus IV was well disposed toward the Jews, not only confirmed the Hasmonean Jonathan in possession of all Demetrius had granted him, but he appointed his brother Simon as military. So this is talking about the Hasmonean dynasty, all right, the Maccabees. And you also have to remember there was a forced conversion of Edomites to and they started calling themselves Jewish by the Hasmoneans, by Simon. Simon's I think it was Simon's grandson who did that, of the Hasmonean dynasty, which were Levites, okay? And so I want you to keep all that in mind. All right, so during the time of the Lord, when you had Antiochus and the Herodians, you know, because Christianity and people like Vocab and historians would teach you the Edomites were done away with. But how is that so when you had the Herodians, and the Herodians were all Idumeans, and Antipater was an Idumean? Okay, so it reads, Demetrius had granted him, but he appointed his brother Simon as military commander over all the district reaching to the Egyptian frontier. Antiochus confided in these brothers was not in vain. Jonathan defeated Demetrius, military commander, in the plain of Hazar, biblical history, while Simon captured the fortress of Bathzer, which had declared for Demetrius. These and similar enterprises of the Hasmoneans were undertaken as much as the interest. Sorry, my paper's kind of old and tattered now. In the interest of the Jews themselves as the king, for Demetrius was foe for both. So you can't trust these Edomites. Not only were they against each other, but they also were against the Israelites that were helping them. They were using them to help them to win wars and win battles as they were fighting back and forth, but then they would turn on them. All right? And then it reads, because both Jonathan and Simon were both put to death by Edomites treacherously. All right? That's biblical history found in the Maccabees. All right? These people are not to be trusted. Like it says in Sirach, trust not thy enemy. All right? Then it says, the growth of the Jewish military power, however, seemed to alarm Tryphon, see, Antiochus' guardian, for was justly apprehended the ultimate breaking away of the Jewish people from Seleucid rule. It appears, moreover, that Tryphon was just and mediating the removal of his ward and seizure of his throne. He feared, however, that Jonathan would oppose him in his plot on both moral and political grounds. And there it is, man. So these people are just troublemakers and cannot be trusted. And they only sit here to use you and use their power to do nothing but to usurp each other, war with each other, and constantly be in a war state. Now, let's fast forward to modern day history. You have the Electoral College to deal with. So that makes voting very unethical and a joke. And now you have Google that can actually, you know, because I'm like, when did the voting things get connected to Google? How did that even happen? So now Google can tamper with the elections or information. So without any further ado, let's let this short video play.
Mr. Pichai, is Google going to tailor its features to help Joe Biden in the 2020 election?
Congressman, we approach our work, we support both campaigns today. We think political ads is an important part of free speech in democratic societies, and we engage with campaigns, according to law, and we approach our work in a nonpartisan way.
It's a yes or no question. Can you assure Americans today you won't tailor your features to help Joe Biden in the upcoming election?
We support work that campaigns do. I just want to make sure I
understand that. We all do all kinds of online, social media, all kinds of that outreach, that communication. This is a simple question. Can you today assure Americans you will not tailor your features in any way to specifically help one candidate over other? And this what I'm concerned about is you helping Joe Biden over President Trump.
We won't do any work, to politically tilt anything one way or the other. It's against our core values.
But you did it in 2016. There's an email in 2016 that was widely circulated amongst the executives at your company that got public, where Ms. Ileana Murillo, head of your multicultural marketing, talks about the silent donation Google made to the Clinton campaign. And you applauded her work. She points that out in the email. I'm just curious, if you did it in 16, I want to make, in spite of the fact you did it in 16, President Trump won. I just want to make sure you're not going to do it again in 2020.
Congressman, I recall our conversation at that time, and I appreciate your concern. We didn't find any evidence of such activity. And I took the opportunity after our conversation to reinforce to the company. We realized even an appearance could be improper, so we have clearly communicated to our employees any personal political activity, while that's their right, needs to happen on their own time and resources and should avoid any use of company.
Of course, everyone's got their First Amendment rights to campaign for who they want. What they can't do is configure your features to help one candidate over the other. So you might not have found any evidence, but here's what she wrote to the email to a number of key executives in your company. Quote, we push to get out the Latino vote with our features. Second quote, we push to get out the Latino vote with our features in key states. Seems to me those last three words are the real qualifier here. That's electioneering when you're trying to increase the Latino vote in key states. And she'd already communicated.
Okay, electioneering. So they're designing, engineering elections. Let's get a quick scripture and shut this down. This is Sirach 14 and 5, and it reads, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his good. So these people can't even be good to themselves, man. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Nabashai Bashim Rakakwadash Wa Abba Babal Shalom.